Hello, 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 and welcome back to another live stream. How's it going, everyone? Hope you're all doing well. Happy Friday. But yeah, new intro. I've been doing this intro the whole time, and I've always questioned it. The only reason I've been doing it is just because that's the first thing that came to my head. Because I didn't know what else to say. I was stuck with it. That's it. Hey, good guys, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday, freaking finally. TGIF. TFGIF. Thank fucking God it's Friday. Hey, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. You know what would be funny? If the cat girl stream chat would influence the pausing for ads as well. I mean, I could do that. It would take some effort to set up, but theoretically I could set that up. I'm doing regular guts. What cooking? It's gonna be finishing and cleaning up the cutout of stuff. So we now do the camera cutout for like a bunch of stuff, but not for trees. So he needs to work with that. Not sure if you use asterisk. It's good to censor yourself. But it would be very easy to set up there. I mean, what kind of naughty thing did you put in those asterisks? I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of that would be you would need to censor yourself for. Well, you know, I don't use whatever that is. Hey, Blue Seeker, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I use StreamerBot. Yeah. Yeah, it's not hard to set up, but I would need to do it, and I'm lazy. It's not the effort that it takes to do it. It's the effort to start to do it that's the problem. Because in about 10 minutes, I would have already forgotten about this part of the conversation. And then by the end of the stream, I've definitely forgotten about it. Because memory of a goldfish. It's not rewarding enough to do it. Yeah, it doesn't bring me excitement, so for me, it's like just memory gone. Think it's cool. It's a good idea, and if I remember to do it and I had the time and I wasn't feeling lazy, I'd do it. But there's a lot of roadblocks there. That's a lot. It's a lot of roadblocks. Maybe though, maybe no. We will see. The plan is to make it so we can use instant stuff as well. Hey Isaac, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. I still want to add more fun stuff to the stream, but I can never think of things. You're mad at me? Get in line. Tons of people are mad at me for one reason or another. Get in line. I'm not saying you're not justified. I'm just saying get in line. Let's go to our hub. I want to figure out more cool stuff to add to the stream, but there's nothing good So we need to set up these trees to work. The collision is working now, but what needs to happen is that this all needs to work with instant static meshes, which is what components, not regular static meshes, which is the way it's currently set up. So is it here? Ah, here. So if it fails to be a static mesh actor, we need to do get component oh, hold on. Instead of hit actor, I also would want to record the hit component, wouldn't I? I just double check that it's going to be work. It's going to work. You have commented all my videos, watching on the video, and how did you make the clips? I've replied to every comment. In fact, if I take a look right now, I have one new comment from 48 seconds ago. I replied to every other comment. So if you posted it, I would reply to it. So this should return instant static mesh. So what we're gonna do is promote this to local variable. Hit component. If you haven't seen it, by the way, how the cliff's done, a spline with a transfer points and a spawn mesh done. Basically, that's all it is. Let's go ahead. Input instant, or what type is it? Primitive component. It wouldn't work here, but I don't need it to work here. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. No, I need to do this differently then. Can't do it through this. What I need to do is when you get components component? Why can't I get it? Oh, because it's an object. It's freaking object reference. Why is it an object reference? Actor objects reference. Can I change this? This is an actor. It's an actor. Actor. Why is this an object? Actor. That was a problem. You have a landscape from Gaia and you create the environment using material layers, and the cliff material is in a specific place. So you'd like to put the cliff there, or the spline, it looks weird. And, I mean, here's my cliffs, but this is not what you want for cliffs. Right? These are my cliffs. What you're doing has nothing to do with my cliffs. Or like the way you're doing it is very different. My method wouldn't work for you at all. I can make your meshes interactive using PCG. Well, PCG is not interactive or not. PCG is just a point scatter. It spawns things. If you want to spawn something interactable, then spawn something that's interactable. If you want to spawn just an object, spawn an object. Just spawn an actor if you want to have functionality, and put all the functionality in the actor. If you want it to be just a mesh, spawn the mesh. PCG is just a point scatter. It doesn't have inherent things that you like make it interactable or not. That's just, you have to create that setup and then have PCG spawn it. That's pretty much it. But the main thing is, you need to create that system yourself and just have PCG be the point scatter that it is. Then we can do get material. And all the same stuff here. Oops. This would only assign to the first one. Oh, the blueprint, yeah. Or C++, I guess, if you know C++. Create the grass in a blueprint and then scatter that using PCG. Yeah. I mean, unless you have like a world position offset way of doing it, I don't know. I've never set up interactable grass, so I don't know what the best way of setting that up is. You need whatever way that is, whether it's world position offset, whether it's distance field, probably distance field with world position offset, actually. Yeah, you need to spawn that setup. Whatever it is. And then you'll have what you need. If you want interactions, it's a field. Ah, I guessed correctly, or one of the guesses was correct. How would you can't isolate it from a specific source, though, right? So if you want to use distance field on something else, you'd run into issues. Theoretically. I guess in most cases for grass, it'd be fine. Same place if you want scorched grass. What do you mean by scorched grass? Oh, oops. V-Suit is a pain with Unreal? I'll take your word for it. I don't have any other reference, really. I mean, I did from way too long ago, but I don't remember it anymore. Hey, Elbow, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. When you have fire abilities burning in the grass, the scorched effect where the skill ramped, you can use an SDF. Something distance field. SDF, something distance field. What is the something no one knows? Sign distance field. Is there a different kind of distance field? I just know distance field. I'm so bad with names. I can always tell people, like, I'm not good with names. I just remember distance field. How would you do scorched earth and stuff like that with a distance field? Don't you need it to persist? Don't know if it makes sense. We just had an explanation on Discord. What are you talking about, Leo? And welcome in. How's it going? You're doing well. What makes sense? I feel like I'm very much out of the loop. I think like I feel like I missed like a giant conversation. The status chance explanation? What status chance explanation? Is it working? It's not working, right? It's not working. Why is it not working? What happens if a proc happens faster and the last one finish? Yeah, I was just like, does it restart? I was like, just... that was it. Short, sweet. Does it restart? Does it reset? Does it add to the timer? Whatever it is. I was just curious what you were doing, or how you were doing it. You can reset or not, depending on the one it needs to. Oh, cool. It's been 12 hours today in Unreal. Your eyes are dying. Yeah, get some rest. Get some sleep. Sleep time, best time. So that is working. So my best guess is... Target's primitive component. It's the same one. So what's up? Why is this not working? It's sending the information through, it's just not assigning it. Hold on, did I did make them... Oh, I set this one back to not being masked. Well, there's the problem. Or I didn't save it. Hey, Sadars, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Signed basically just means that it shows negative and positive values, while unsigned would mean only positive. What is a negative for a distance field? How is that? I thought basically when it's like right up against it, it will be 1, and at the furthest distance and past it is 0. How do you do negative on a distance field? Burning objects, you remember you wanted to have interactive wind-based fire system? Using fuel or virtual fuel? What in the world? It's not a little bit to -1, it can be negative 256. 256, it depends on the information's depth. How do you do negative in a distance field? Because I feel like once you're at the center, it's 0. Or is at 1 or whatever the max is. And then the furthest away, it could be 0. It can't be negative. How do you do negative? Why isn't it doing it? Do I need to specifically set material? Everything above is positive and everything below is negative. For distance fields? Are we talking distance fields? Why is this not working? Yeah, it has it. Let me just see what happens when it make this 0. Excuse. Why isn't this not doing anything? Wait, why is this back to being opaque? Oh, wait, there's different ones. Oh, god damn it, there's multiple ones. There's multiple barks. Ah! God damn it. Well, there's the problem. Ah! Why does foliage have so many versions of this? Ah! Like, why is it so confusing? Why isn't it working? Compared to a height map, because there's a threshold 0 to 0.5 as well. About signed distance field, but you're probably thinking about its unsigned distance field. I don't know. I'm just thinking of just distance field. Like, where is it these days? Hell if I remember. I don't remember where it is. No. Measure distance field? No, it's global distance field. Are they this one? Is the one where you can just use distance field out of the meshes? Yeah. I don't remember which one it is, but it's the one where you go into project settings. Generate mesh distance field. It's that one. That's the one I know. It's just distance fields. I don't know. I don't know where the other ones are, or what they're for, or how they work. I just know that there's distance fields. I'm a simple person. I'm but a simple person. It's a very versatile map. Yes, yeah, the only place I know distance field is in materials. If it's dynamic and not a static one, isn't it always? You know what? The only time I ever use distance fields are for stuff. I mean, not literally for this stuff that I'm not sure, but right, where is it? Where's the best distance field video on the internet? There it is.
Distance signal to into the
Right, this.
Those are here, pausing for ad.
This part here, flashing time to create.
Right, distance fields.
Sure. Yeah, we can use anywhere. So we could take is and then create it now. It's like a
Distance fields.
so as it comes down to the ground.
I don't know any other use cases for it. For facial shadows, for example, that's a static one. It breaks the light in a more hand-drawn way. Interesting. I mean, if you send it to me, I'm curious what the difference is, because that's the only one I know. I don't know any other distance field. And it's just right. You saw it's just called mesh distance field. I'm not smart. Can you tell? If you can't, that's not my fault. I just do control tab just goes between the two. So theoretically now, it'll actually work. You're not smart either. Can I just call cap? There we go. Now it's working. See how dumb I am? It took me this long to realize that there were multiple materials. That is not the sign of a smart person. Hey, Halcyon, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Well, it's because I found out that there's apparently multiple materials that we need to adjust, so I had to open all of them for all the damn trees. Okay, well, that part's working now, so now we need to do this for every single material. How do you know how many materials there are? Get materials. Oh. We don't need to because we have a node. Get all of them. If I transferred the same damage text over and that's working in gas, nice. Last two things, which is weapon hit tracing and projectiles. And then you're back to square one. I don't call that square one. You know, I think you're a little past square one. Maybe square two. At least give yourself that. Fine, square two, yeah. 2 squared. So you're effectively 2 squared is effectively 4. So you're on step 4. See how quickly we went up. You're now on square 2 or step 4. Quick progress. Square 42069. You're on step 1,769,000. Nice. 800 and 761. Congratulations. See how far ahead you are? You're not getting started at all. You're very far ahead. Ah. Okay, well that didn't do what I wanted it to. This just assigned the same material. Okay. That it. Oh. That's kind of important. That right there is probably important. Aha! Look at that. Now we have it working properly. See, now it's actually becomes more see-through. See, I'm not smart. I can't even plug things in properly. Hey, Lord Bunch, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Making a racing game have been very helpful. You usually don't get to watch me as you're in the UK. I mean, I have people here that are in Germany. So, I mean, come on. Step it up. Happy to help. I don't know how I helped, but happy to help. Vicky racing game, that's racist. Whoever could you be? I found out there are 2 people that are from Germany in my Discord. One of them is you, but I didn't know that I had a second, and today I found out I have a second. So apparently I have a quite large German audience, basically. Only you are crazy enough to, like, not be asleep at this time, though. Maybe that means we all need to go to Germany for a meetup. Sure, are you paying? Make collapse functions and reuse? No? Well, now that I'm thinking about doing this, maybe. Let's see. Yeah, we can reuse. Mesh component. Yeah, we can reuse that. Like sometimes when there's only 2, I'm lazy. But fine, I'll reuse. Assign to each material. Mesh component and primitive component. I don't like that. That's 2 different things from the same mesh component. Mesh component. Then I have to make. Let's make that yet again. Then so now I just pass through the value again. I know what you're making me do. Crazy. Yes, send me the SDF map, but you don't seem to have a recording of the shadows anymore, and we need to make one. Don't seem to have a recording of the shadows anymore. We need to. What? Basically, that's the map anime games like Genshin used to make a shadow look good, depending on the z-axis of the light relative to the face only, though. Eight layers of lighting conditions, and you draw on the facial UVs and blend them together, and voila, you have. That just sounds like you're just blending in between textures. Based on the description, but I probably need to see it. I'll see it after the stream. Helped you with PCG Road out of all things? I didn't even make a video on that. I'll take it. I'll take credit for it. I'll take credit for you. Game looks great. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. That's fine. It was fine. Let's put all this in a new group called Dynamic Material Culling. Oh, need to put the spaces in, or it's not going to be happy with me when I drag it in. Map is purely for shadows in a cel-shaded context. 2 a.m. made a video about it. He'll send it as well. Oh, his name is 2 his channel name is 2 a.m. Oh, I thought you meant like it's 2 a.m. where you are, and you'll make a video about it and send it as well. Well, what I thought you said and what you said are very different. Supply message you add wrote with them. Nice. No, it's 416. I mean, that's close. You know? It's 2 a.m. somewhere. Well, that is how time zones work. Yes, it is literally 2 a.m. somewhere at all times. Yes. I wonder if I should make it random. Maybe that would help. Let's find out. Zero's no. Oh, it's right now random. What if we made it not random? Because by default it's random. What if we do non-random? I feel like not random helps with the visibility. Yeah, that makes it much more visible. Why am I not hitting it here? You should lerp into the visible property rather than make it into a texture. Just wondering if such a thing exists. What you talking about? Lerp into the visible property rather than make it a texture. Well, visibility, if you're talking about the visibility is a Boolean. You can't lerp a Boolean. If that's what you're referring to. How sick would it be if you made a type of monster that existed under the island and crawled up over the edge? I mean, it would be very cool. May God have mercy on my soul if I ever try to implement that. Because that would mean that I would need to have 3-dimensional pathing and just great idea. Just I'm not gonna do that. I'm just, you know, it's not worth it. Or should I make a dither effect by chance? Oh, I'm not trying to make a dither effect because there already has a dither effect. Wait, what 3D pathfinding? What? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Leo. There is no 3D pathfinding. You're fine. Yeah, why is it not cutting out here? Let's find out. I feel like it should hit here. I feel like that should be hitting. You don't want to code A-star pathfinding algorithm again? You don't have to, just use PCG. Built in. That's built into PCG. So why is this not working? Hold. Let me guess. That's why it's not working. I guess because I don't have collisions on by default on this thing, I could just... do one of these. It's not like I'm colliding with the trees anyway. So it being bigger is fine. And it makes it so it cuts out earlier. That's better. AI Move to also handled it pretty well. I mean, AI Move to will only work on 2D pathfinding, not 3D. Gas is weird. Agreed. Why does get gameplay tag count not give you the max, but rather it has a singular instance of a tag versus total tags? Well, get gameplay tag count should get you all the gameplay tags it has and the length of that. Basically, that's what I'm assuming that should give you. Not all the gameplay tags in the game, because that would be pointless. Also, that's the reason you don't want to, because it's already there. Reinventing the wheels is torture. I mean, depends. If you need to reinvent the wheel today, it'd be pretty easy. It'd be like, oh, here's a wheel. I reinvented it. Done. You can use these caps from cameras as wheels. They're round and they'll roll. Done. See how quickly that was? Reinvented. I see. Also assume by returns 1 instead of the number. It's like it's treating it like separate instances instead of a total. I mean, just get the gameplay tags of the character wherever you have them stored. I'm sure there has to be a variable that has all of them stored on, right? And then just do a length. Or is there a length? No, because it's just a... Oh, what you could do is break them into an array. Hold on, what you can do is... Where do I do this? Get effect count works? Yeah, that would work. Hold on, I forget. What is it called? Is it here? I don't even remember if it's... yeah, here. You can do break gameplay tag container and then just do length. So you get the gameplay tags and then get break gameplay tag container and then you can do a length here. And then you'll know how many there are. I can't delete it. How fun. Just undo. That works. You know how much of a singular tag you have? Well, you can only have one per thing. You can't give one thing the tag multiple times. Right? Or is gas allow some weird trickery with that? When you have a tag, it adds an int. Oh, like you have a custom setup that like just keeps track of how many times it was added? Is that it? I'm guessing that's what you're talking about. Got it. You have a custom setup. I see. I see. Your bulletproof gas system is like that, yeah, as well as gas. Mine is not like that. I have a custom setup. If I need to trigger it multiple times, I just remove the tag after I'm done using it, and then you can re-add it, and then it'll work. Like for potions, that's what I do. As I give myself the gameplay tag for like potion, and when the cooldown is off, I remove the tag, and then that tells it, oh, I don't have the tag anymore, so I can drink another potion. But otherwise, everything has a separate tag and values and all that. Useful for stacking effects of the same type. Yeah, I imagine. If you only need to keep track of an int, and that's all, then yeah. I should turn off the debug. Like things they like imagine you have stacking bleed, 1% per bleed stack. So you just have it keep track of the ints for tag in a tag manager component. Pretty easy setup. Yeah, you can just put it into a map or a struct and keep track of it there. Which I'm using a struct, but if you're using ints, what happens when you have like a 10% boost? You can't do a 10% boost then. Or what happens if, unless you don't plan to have stuff like that, or what happens when you just, want to have like any decimal point, 1.1%, 10% boost. Yeah, let's go with that. That's a fine example. Or you want one character to have 50% more bleed stack. Can't do that. And wouldn't it be better to have floats? Perhaps. It's gonna load. It's not a move. We need more rooms. We still need more rooms. Or I need to probably increase the range. We have your setup. All it does is keep track of how much you have. It doesn't impose restrictions. What do you mean? Whoever is tracking it can have it clamped to whatever values you use. But if you're doing int, then how did you do 1.5%? That's what I mean. If you're just storing ints. Or I'm probably misunderstanding. As always, I am misunderstanding. For status effect, you have it in a struct. I see. Afloats. Okay. Got it. That's 20. It should be fine.
Ads are here. Pausing for ads.
An associated value percentage that says how much each stack is equating to. Got it. Hold up. Holding. We're holding. I'm holding. Oh, sorry. Hold up. Holding it up. Please tell me not to hold it up for very long. My arms are very weak and fragile. Okay, unhold. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the permission. Why did you want to? Oh, did you come to the YouTube site because you were getting the ads? I mean, I don't blame you. But if you threw me at Twitch Prime, you could stay on Twitch and not have ads. All they say is hold your horses, but they never say unhold your horses. Have they any idea how heavy this damn animal is? True, but they don't say hold up the horse, Aya. They just say hold your horse. So if you just hold the horse to the side while standing perfectly on the ground, it's not that hard. Now, your arm might get tired eventually, but what you could also do is just put some super glue on your hand, and then go whack. And then, you know, you'll be holding the horse effectively, and it will just, you can get tired, you'll just hang there, and it'll do all the work for you. Yeah. If you had a job, you would. Which platform is better for me? YouTube or Twitch, or maybe which do I like more? I'm streaming both. I stream both for you guys. I have an option. YouTube is higher quality, but it has a longer delay. Twitch is lower quality, but it has better emote support. And less delay. I guess I'm forced to play ads on Twitch, so it'd be better if you were on Twitch to get all those beautiful portions of a penny. Like fractions of a penny. That way, over the course of years, I might be able to buy myself a pack of gum. You hit the high. You will not stop till it begs for mercy. Have a good night. Thanks, Tom. Bye. Hey, Ranger, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Do you stream on OnlyFans? If not, missed opportunity. Oh yeah, I have a camera underneath the table that's just streaming my feet. Yeah, I'm just doing a simple foot stream basically to OnlyFans. Yeah, that's the might as well, you know, monetize up and down. What else do you think? Welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. You knew that's how I typed. Yeah, my feet are very limber. I don't know what the proper word would be. There we go. And look at that. We're getting cutouts from the tree and we can see through it. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Oh. Hell yeah. We can see below. We can see below. I don't like the fact that we just did a little bit of a chugging there. I think what I want to do is make it so when you teleport, it needs to give you the cooldown, so you don't get a hit immediately after teleporting until you actually move or do an action. Speaking of doing an action, hold on. If I was to press, right now I have the cooldown. If I pressed 1. Oh, hold on, let me actually get into a dungeon. Okay. So I have it. If I pressed 1 now, I still have it. Okay, that's a problem. We gotta fix that. So what we want to do is I think it's here. Remove grace window. Yep, that's the one we want. And we want to do that whenever we're doing the hotbar attack. Remove the grace window. Hey, Robo, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Make it stop. Eh. Yeah, I don't really feel like it. If I use cooldown and cooldown's gone. Good. So now what we can do is add the grace window. So we have the remove grace window. Oh, we have the start grace window cooldown as a message. What we can do then is let's go into the teleporter. Let's go on to the level instances. I guess levels. They're just spawned as level instances. So what we want to do is on interact, right? It does all of this. And then a start grace window cooldown. Let's see if this works fine. So what we want is basically when we teleport that the mobs, even though they'll be right next to us, will not immediately attack us. So we can live next to the mobs for a short while. He was just judge me for a moment. Yeah, but I'm used to being judged, so. I'm getting some hitches. And I think that's when it's loading some things. Why don't you look into that? Is this a freaking flat area? I just wanted to teleport. Okay. God damn it. We need a new teleport that is 1 by 1 by 2. I think that will help. Really? Of course, now that I want the teleporting, it's not giving me the teleporting. Oh yeah, and we also need to fix the dashing problem. Ooh, I like this view. That's the shop. I know because of the port. Oh, see, that looks great. Ooh, that, okay, so that's the problem. Okay, so... I did not get the grace window. Oh, it's the HUD. Oop. Okay. So you do this. And then here, what we need to do is add gameplay tag. Window. So this is just to, yeah, because BB Hub. Which if I read, I would know, but reading is for nerds. We ain't no nerd. Oh, here we go. Hey, look at that. I teleported and I have a grace window. Look, guys, Leo's a nerd. He probably wears glasses. What a nerd. Yeah, grace window works now. That works great. Okay, cool. I like that. Okay, now what do we do about the whole loading and unloading? A couple of things. Because I'm not loading very wide, a lot of the visibility that I'm looking for is gone. Which means what I could try doing is loading wider. Is built asynchronously over multiple frames if this value is greater than 0. If value is 0, the entire dungeon is built in a single frame, might face lag. Set it in a value of milliseconds, example 1633, to have it built over multiple frames while maintaining a smooth frame rate. Well, I guess this one's fine to leave at 0 because it's just building the dungeon. It's done during the loading screen. I guess if it wasn't done during the loading screen, this would be important. Oh, non-repeating rooms is way too high. Hold on. Let me lower that down so we can have more repeating rooms. Although it does a lot of repeating rooms anyway. Let's knock that down. I can keep hidden chunks in memory or unload hidden chunks. I guess keep it in memory is probably better. Load method. Load on demand or load everything in memory. That's it. Ooh. I wonder if that would solve the problem. If it loaded everything into memory right away, it would be both good and bad, right? Because you don't want to have everything in memory. But I have it keep hidden chunks in memory anyway. So in the end, you would have everything in memory. Let's try this. This might also help our verticality problem in a sense. Because I forgot that I had it at 5 non-repeating rooms. So this should give us a higher chance of getting more rooms to go down. Yeah, look at that. Oh, right there. Multiple. Oh, guys, right there. Look at all that. Look at all that. That's another level down, right? We got one here, and we got another one there. Oh, I'm just gonna do this. Yeah. Let's see how it is with loading and unloading. Ooh, I felt that. I felt that. That is really cool. I wonder. How bad is it? How bad is it to load the entire thing and keep it loaded? Probably pretty bad. I think the horizontal distance might be a little too much, but at the same time, it does allow us to see quite nice areas. What I should do is... Oh, I felt that. I felt that. Okay. Okay. Let's do the settings again. Level streaming, distance. 3,000, 3,000. Keep hitting chunks of memory. What if we just did unload? Process streaming navigation. Well, we had fine with navigation, so probably okay to keep it as is. Let's run stat unit. And for anyone that doesn't know, stat units at FPS. It's funny, when I was not streaming, when I was doing tests in the game, I was at 120. But now that I'm streaming, it's like, you want what? You want me to do all this? Oh, it doesn't help that I also have blueprints open. That's why draw is not correct. Let me just close that. Yeah, so now that's more accurate. Yeah, I saw that dip. I saw that dip when it was loading. What I need to do... I wonder if that loading that it was talking about can happen over multiple frames. If this is the dungeon loading that can happen over multiple frames. I should experiment with that. You guys let me through. I'm doing tests here. Ooh, yeah, 15 FPS. Yeah, we really felt that. Let's try... If any tips for reaching high FPS, have less shit on the screen. Hey Mario, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Is a unit graph easier to read and spot hitches? Yes, but I only learned about that recently. I didn't remember the name. Unit graph. Okay. Stack unit graph. There it is. Yeah, I'd only recently heard about this and I forgot about it. Thanks for the reminder. You can expose unit max, which will show peak units. How do you do that? How do you customize that? What I want to do here is try adjusting max this. It will build asynchronously over multiple frames if value is greater than 0. I don't know if this will means like when it's loading and unloading rooms or just during the build itself. Hey, crafted terrains, not terrains. Slightly different. PG stuff's going well. What is it? See, I don't know what it's showing me. Am I excited for 5.7? Oh. It's already out. Okay, there's some cool stuff, but it's not like anything that's mind-blowing and... Oh, right, yep. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, there's the hitch. Yeah, so that dungeon building thing did not help at all. Okay. So, as I thought, this is not relevant to the level streaming part. For some reason, load everything in memory also. Keep hidden chunks in memory. Load everything in memory. Even this caused issues, right? No, the hitching is loading and unloading giant chunks of the dungeon. Yeah, there, yeah. All right, so we see all of this. And if I go back here, we see that. So all of that got loaded, right? So I think what I need to do is not have it go out as far. So 2000. The distance doesn't make sense to me. Because 2000 distance is not very far, but yet it's like it's 10xing or something. I don't know. Maybe it's 10xing under the hood. It also record a trace session and isolate CPU tasks. Well, I know why this is happening. That's not a mystery to me. It's just figuring out how do I now get the views that I want and do this. And I think this is just going to be a limitation of Dungeon Architect. Honestly. So that's what's been loaded. Yep. That was a hitch, and there was loaded all that extra, right? The loading all the extra is fine. Time to make your own map generator? I wish. I wish I was smart enough to do something like Dungeon Architect. I mean, genuinely, I do wish I was that smart. But I'm not. And I'm not going to pretend to be. Nothing like this, Leo. You don't understand just how powerful Dungeon Architect is. It's insane how good it is. And yet, how many things should be improved upon. It is the most powerful thing out there. Bar none. How insane? It will automatically do your instancing for you. So it will load and unload area level instances, either by distance or by however many rooms are attached to each other. That's one. Two, you can make rooms of different sizes. Like a 1x2 room, a 1x3, a 2x2, 2x3. Put specific entrances where you want them, and it will do a 3-dimensional dungeon and assemble it all for you based on the weights you put in as well, and within the confines that you want. I mean, it also does a ton of more stuff, but I just stopped using it. But that is insane. Like, no, I've not seen a single 3D dungeon that can do that. This Matscape interaction plugin is pretty damn powerful, but it has that's an interaction plugin. Right? That's not a dungeon. You try using data layers to load and unload lower quality versions below the player's view. So it only hides the show data layers when you use the portals. Well, that's the thing. I want to see all of them below. That's the main problem. Is I want the view. In this case, I don't get a view. slide hitch there. Right, slide hitch there. Yeah, more hitches. I feel like they weren't that bad before. Why are they so bad now? You make your own if you can code? I can't. And and just because you can code doesn't mean you are smart enough to create an entire dungeon generator. What? I know plenty of people that can code that couldn't be able to make you a dungeon generator. One does not equal the other. Thinking about that, since it's isometric, it's not, it's perspective. It's fully perspective. Let's go back to load on demand. Let's see how, if that helps. Okay. Okay, that one was fine. That transition was fine. And loaded, you know, a good amount of stuff. I should recreate these levels, but with my tools. There's a slight hitch there, you saw, but it wasn't as bad this time. Oh, I'm dead. Yeah, the world's 3D with perspective like any other 3D game, yeah. You do a perspective view of each level of those 4 angles and map it to a texture onto a plane for the ones in the distance. The player would never know the difference. They need to line up between each other, right? Otherwise, if they were just individual floating islands, it wouldn't be right. And 2, I would then need to have a system that hides everything. What I really need is a way of, when loading an new rooms, for them not to all load on one frame. I need them to be spread out. That's really what I need. So like there's this, but it's not, this is only the building of it. It's not the streaming of it. So that's the problem. The level streaming is unfortunately I can put this back. I guess it doesn't hurt to have it in there. I killed some of the verticality that we see. Let's see how it looks. Can you do on demand for the islands and runtime generations for the rooms? I don't have control over this. It's all generated by Dungeon Architect, which is a C++ plugin. I got no control over anything. Well, not anything, but like, you know what I mean. All right, so we see that, which is good. Yep, there's a few hitches. Yep, there's another hitch. Is that... I don't know what it's showing me, what that green line is. I wish I understood what the freaking information it's trying to show me is. I'm assuming it's milliseconds, but I don't know what all the different colors mean. Yeah, PCGs are all static. Once I have more stuff loaded in, right, I'm loading less areas around, then it's fine, obviously. Oh, speaking of, never mind. That was a big one. Yeah. It's your frame time. Color corresponds to the stats on the top left. I mean, top right. Oh, okay. Yeah, so it is milliseconds. I was right. Yeah. So... This might be one of those things where I have to ping the creator of Dungeon Architect on Discord, but they're not exactly ever really active. So getting a response would be difficult, and if it's not implemented, then getting anything changed would be nigh on impossible. Unfortunately. Oh yeah, it's a paid plugin. The developer is just not very active, is the problem. He keeps updating it, like to new versions, but beyond that, he likes adding new features instead of developing the current ones and improving them. Like he added a minimap plugin a while back, where I would like to him to have improved the current dungeon builders that he has implemented, because that's what people paid for, not to get the minimap. That's nice for the dungeon builders, but a lot of people will have their own minimap set up anyway. So, yeah. Max draw distance exposed to LDs. What does that mean? What is an LD? There's a nested for loop that is causing a single thread async load these chunks at the same time. Yeah, that's what I'm assuming it's just checking under the hood of the, you know, all at once based on this. But I want it over time. And that's the problem. Like, I can make it very optimized in quote unquote by just doing layout depth 1. Save. All right, but then we miss what I want, which is the whole verticality aspect of it, pretty much. So here we load pretty much just this, super low. If we go into the next room, we still had a little lag spike. You know, even though I loaded only 2 extra rooms, it was still a lag spike. Yep, still a lag spike. So even if we're only loading like 2 rooms, it's still a problem. I'm gonna do something weird for a test. I'm gonna turn off cast shadows on the lights. I want to see how much of that cost is lumen on lumen affecting all those environments as they're loaded in, and how much of that is actually I'm gonna put the distance back, and how much of that is like actually of the loading, because it could be lumen that's causing the problems. It's not the enemies, because enemies get loaded, unloaded based on distance. Smooth so far. Oh, that no, there's the edge. Damn it. There's the hitch. Yeah, the enemies, if I just pause, are not loaded anywhere around except in a radius around me. I have a system that's unloading them. So, for example, there's no enemies down here at all. They only get loaded in at a certain distance. The enemies are already taken care of. Enemies are not the problem. If the enemies were a problem, loading different areas wouldn't cause this issue, because the enemies aren't loaded when these new levels are loaded. They're loaded separately. Okay. What do we do? Like, I would be fine if it was like lower FPS, but it was stable. My problem is the hitch. I don't like the hitch, because I can deal with like lower FPS and optimize and but I can't control the hitch. Hum, hum, hum. What I can try, this is a genuine thing I can try, is turn off the streaming entirely and just have the entire thing loaded in. For shits and giggles, if I turn off instanced? No, not that. Level streaming. Does it happen when you're not streaming? It doesn't matter if it happens when I'm not streaming, because that means I'm running good hardware. So that means it would happen on worse hardware for someone else. So if it doesn't happen when I'm not streaming, cool, but right, that means someone with worse hardware will experience this. Okay, so theoretically, yeah, the entire dungeon is generated. Okay? Entire thing. There is no streaming at all now. With streaming, I'm at 80 frames per second. I mean, this does solve the problem. Right? And there's our views. It won't hitch because we've loaded the entire thing. Right? It's not good. It's not a good solution. By the way, one of you guys might know this. How do you preview what you're actually loading in terms of like frustum culling? How do you visualize that in the game? Because if I write eject with F8, I see everything. Not just what is actually being loaded or not loaded in terms of frustum culling. But you can see no frame rate's like 70. It's not great. It will be better once I do baking and light baking instead of lumen, but maybe we just do this for now. At least it's consistent. Down we go. Yep. There's a slight hitch there, but I think that was not related to any loading or unloading. Oh, that's another level down, layer down. There's a lot of layers in this one, which is good. And that's what we want. This is, I think, probably the lowest point. Probably dead end here. Oh no, continues on. So is this a solution for now? Turn off level streaming? But what I want to see is, right, when I hit F8, I see everything. I want to see what is actually loaded by the frustrum. How do you visualize frustrum culling? Let's find out. Freeze rendering. How do you visualize frustrum culling? So when you hit F8 and exit character pawn, you only see what is actually loaded. We'll see if it says freeze rendering as well. Might as well check. Enter play mode. Start playing play and editor session pressing LP. In the viewport, go to show menu, top of the viewport toolbar, select advanced camera frustrum. This draws the frustrum as a wireframe pyramid in the scene bounded by the FOV, near clip and far clip. Freeze rendering for inspection recommended for pausing the view. Open the console, freeze rendering, eject the pawn. You'll now control the free camera, simulating an external view from the frustrum culling is more apparent. So let's see. So what it says is, camera frustrum, and then if I did pause, and then freeze rendering frozen, eject. It doesn't say it doesn't say rendering frozen anymore. What? Oh. Okay, something's up. Play. Freeze rendering. Rendering frozen. Okay, so see, that is unloaded there. Some of this stuff is unloaded. But if I ejected, it loads in. I want to... how do I eject, or how do I see everything but have it frozen? When you press eject after doing freeze rendering, it all comes back into view. Debug camera in scene, semicolon. Oh. So. Oh no, yeah. That. Oh, I never knew. Crafted terrains. I never knew about that one. I didn't know you could just do this. Thank you for that. So it has loaded a lot of stuff. So I'm gonna semicolon back. So the reason it loaded, why did it load the right side there? So if I unfreeze it real quick, and I'm just come here, let's go to this corner, freeze rendering, pop out. Okay, it is now gone there. So okay. In that case, what's the hotkey to pause? I love it that it doesn't tell me the hotkey to pause. Did streaming to get turned on? Or did it just generate a really shitty dungeon? Hey Vinny, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Slow-mo 0 to pause? What do you mean slow-mo 0? Okay, cool. So there's the entire dungeon. Oh, you do a console command? No, I want a hotkey. It'll be faster for me to just press this button with my mouse than typing it. I mean, I guess depending, I do this, I guess, but I want a hotkey.
Ads are here. Pausing for ads.
We'll check what we see after that. You get a blueprint execute console command? I mean, yeah, you could do that. I need there used to be a Stream Deck plugin that can you can press buttons on your Stream Deck to run console commands. Or stuff like that in Unreal. I want it integrated. There's probably a way to do it with some convoluted way, but I want just like install plugin, install Stream Deck, plugin, done. But that's probably not a thing. Okay, so we see everything here. So if we come here and we do freeze rendering, semicolon, this is all we load. Why do we load all the trees? I need a new blueprint PCG system for the trees. Clearly. I clearly need a new PCG system for the trees. So, here's my stupid question. if I want to have the view where you see down and you see below, and frustrum culling is already taking care of all of this, in terms of things not being loaded, do I need the loading and unloading of instance rooms? Is frustrum culling not taking care of that for me? I imagine it's not that I do need it, but like for example here, pause. I want to keep that island, right? And so this is what I'm actually loaded in now, which is all I need. And that is all I need. So should we just have it load the entire thing and leave it to frustrum culling? There has to be a reason why you would want beyond frustrum culling, right? Can't recall which one it is, but HISM versus ISM actually is worse for performance for things far apart versus close together. One of them is worse for performance if items are far away. That'll deal with later, but that's irrelevant to this problem, right? I can change it to be hierarchical versus not hierarchical in the PCG settings. That's fine. No. Not a big deal. But I'm just thinking. Let's find, you know what? I could guess. Or I could ask Grok. And see if I can get a better answer. A better answer. Not having level streaming is working better than technically frustrum culling. Already does what it needs to. Yeah, then technically, yeah, that's what it seems like to me. But I want to find out. I have a dungeon generator that loads levels on the sides and below. You have a view where you see far below to the lower levels. Context. When I load / unload level, just when I load actually, levels based on distance to player, there's a hitch. But if I load the entire thing, then obviously no hitch. Is there a benefit to loading and unloading the separate rooms based on distance versus just having frustrum culling take care of the unloading of the unnecessary sections? Let's fight. Let's get educated. Does it make sense for each floating island a separate level to load on demand? Well, that's just how the dungeon works. It is it's just an assembly of rooms. Each room is a level instance that gets loaded and unloaded. Yes, there's significant benefits to distance-based loading and unloading. Yeah, that's why I figured, but I just want to... What are they? Especially for scalable, memory-constrained procedural worlds like yours. However, if your total dungeon size fits comfortably in memory, less than 4 to 8 gigabytes of RAM usage, culling alone might suffice, avoiding hitches entirely. So it's a memory thing. Skips rendering, GPU draw calls for off-screen out of office. Makes assets stay loaded in RAM VRAM. Distance-based loading, unloading, loads and unloads entire chunks from disk. Because BCG itself couldn't handle demand loading on a single level. Yeah, it's the whole system. Yeah, is built off level instance, basically loading and unloading. The problem I'm having is it's just loading them all at the same time. Really, it needs to just do it over a longer period of time. Load it all. Yeah. Oh, they're just too big, and that's what's causing it. Yeah, potential hitches unload, 100 to 500 millisecond spikes. Overall, better FPS in dense scenes via reduced primitives. Yeah. So it is better, but it has the issues of hitching. Okay, so the question then is, how do I see the RAM usage? How do I see the RAM usage to tell if it's needed to hold on. I don't know how to actually see that information in Unreal. Because I can look at the RAM usage, but you'll see it also editor. I guess I can package the build and look at the RAM usage then. But I'm hoping there's a way to just... Oh, set memory, yeah. Yeah, I guess that memory. I'm at 1 gigabyte. Hey, Pseudo Kid, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. If my memory is at 1 gigabyte, I'm probably fine, right? Right? I'm probably fine then to... One gigabyte's a lot to be 5 megabytes, yeah. Because my texture memory pool is literally 1.5 gigs. Because that's the default Unreal one. So theoretically, you only... Imagine not optimized for the Commodore 64. So... I guess I am probably fine to, at least for now, with this kind of setup that I have. Just rely on Frustrum then. I'll show how my PCG is set up in a moment, and then unfreeze rendering, and then zoom. Assuming that I don't die. Let me through, let me through. Okay, right, I see quite a lot here. Pause. Sat memory, yeah, like 1.1. It's not even 1.1, right? Because it's 1024 is it's like, yeah, it's like 1.1 roughly. Gigabytes of, well, this texture memory used. Hold on. This is showing texture memory, not total memory. That is a difference. Where do we see total memory used? If you're doing PCG on large scale maps, it is recommended to do partitioning of PCG. On the right side, this, if this is right, this is 10 gigabytes. .2 gigabytes. But yes, but this is editor. That's why I wanted to see what is the memory, what is the RAM cost in the game versus in just an editor. Run in standalone. Okay, we can run standalone. What's the command again? Stat unigraph. Unit critical path, unit max. So we're looking at 5.5 gigs here. 5.29 gigs in this area. Okay. This is the hub. Okay, let's see what it is inside of here. $6.9. The question, I guess, becomes 7 is what is the goal memory that I should be looking for? 7.2. Me through. We're at 7.25. How long of a low of a system do I want to target? Well, here's the thing. Here's what we can try testing also. Is I'm on ultra settings, I'm pretty sure right now. I could drop it down to low settings and see what it says. Right? Because that would, if I'm targeting a low system, I should be okay with putting in low settings. But I want to see what one, if that has an effect on memory. I don't know what is a good ballpark either way. I'm at 7.3. If I was to go to, let's do medium. Memory effectively has not changed. So memory doesn't really change based on the settings. Frame rate definitely improved, but memory does not change. Because it's not loading and unloading anything anyway. So we're looking at the same memory for the same quality. This is not a production build. Debug builds will eat more RAM as well. Is there a way to also cap the frame rate? I don't want to cap the frame rate. Definitely don't want to cap the frame rate. I don't see a reason to. So, but what is a good RAM target? I guess the question is, how much RAM does a game like Hades 2 take or use? Well, Hades 2, no, I should compare it to Path of Exile or Diablo. Because Hades 2 will take very little because it's literally room-based. Mine's more open like Path of Exile and Diablo. RAM target should be fine, but yeah, I'm trying to get, yeah, I can't compete with Hades 2. Yeah. How much RAM does Path of Exile 2 or Diablo 4 use? Comparison. As if for reference, yeah, I mean, it's also like an ARPG. Okay, so their minimum RAM requirements is 8 gigs. Recommended RAM requirement is 16 gigs. The typical in-game usage is 5 to 6 and 6 to 8. And the highest it ever goes to is Path of Exile 2, 8.5. That's how they recommend. The minimum is 8, and then because it goes to 8.5. Okay. So I'm in the ballpark. So 8 to 16 is fine. Yeah, ideally, I guess, ideally you'd want to get it to under, well, ideally you'd want to get it to under 8. But here's an interesting question then. Why does Diablo 4 list 8 gigabytes of RAM minimum, but yet its highest points, right, go to like 11 plus, let's say 11. Wouldn't that mean that this is a problem? You know, RAM usage and texture memory usage. Texture usage is usually the more difficult thing to work with. Yeah, I imagine so. That's why you use modular repeating textures. In Unreal, if you used a tiling texture, let's say a rock texture for the ground, you can apply that rock textures on thousands of objects and it will still only count as one. Compared to putting in thousands of textures for thousands of rocks. So you always want to reuse textures. That's why I like tiling textures. Is the AI, the amount of AI simultaneously navigating. And everyone has the latest, greatest GPU, but more than likely they have between 8 and 16 gigabytes of RAM. Yeah, standard these days is 16 gigs. I think like most people these days have 16 gigs of RAM. Not VRAM specifically, but RAM. I think that is pretty standard. Your game is reporting 6.54 gigabytes of RAM usage right now, so yours is lower than mine, so you're fine. Memory leaks causing 10 plus gigabyte spikes on low-end systems, out of memory errors on less than 16 gigabytes. Frequent leaks pushing 12 to 14 gigabytes, 26 gigabytes reported on 32 gigabyte systems during long sessions. Good job, Diablo. I don't actually even load FAR AI. So the way my AI works, I'll show you guys. Oh, did it already? It opened it. Okay, I'm doing standalone because I forgot to change to editor mode. It's fine. Let it load. You have 3,000 AI units? I don't even have that. That's how do you... I need to figure out how the hell you have that just fine. I guess if they're just walking, it's probably very simple. Compared to having like full logic and everything. Oh, is it going? Okay, so if I eject... Oh, I can't eject here. Okay, if I did this... That's a great new feature. So, right, this is an entire dungeon. But if I come down here, you'll see there's no enemies. Right, not a single enemy here. If I come here, this is the next area. You'll see no enemies. Okay? So I'm right there. But there are no enemies, okay? If I come over here to this part of the bridge, you'll see enemies. And basically they have loaded in. So I don't load effectively enemies until they're a certain distance away from me. And then I also unload enemies once they're far enough away from me. This probably is not far enough. The distance where they unload is further. Oh no, the other pack did unload. So right, so those guys there did find me. I think that was only one pack. It might have been both packs, to be fair. They were the same mobs, so it's hard to tell. If we go select the viewport, it'll be easier. So I have a plugin that allows me to very easily load and unload them. All 3K are VAT, and you think you have 10 animated AIs. It's really... Okay, so most of them are not even... Okay, got it. That's why. Walking on paths, super easy. Okay, that makes sense. If I eject... Again, nothing really loaded around here. No enemies. Also, clearly need more variations. Dear God. I come closer. Here they are, loaded. They saw me. And you see, this pack didn't see me, but they're loaded. Same with those guys. But if I go ahead and run away. And those guys saw me, but you see, these guys got unloaded. These guys got unloaded. So in terms of enemies, I'm only loading and unloading within a range for me. So thankfully, in terms of AI, it's fine. Can that even be used for real-time combat? From what I can tell, Leo, no. I couldn't find any that showed something like, hey, here's the spawn the AI like you would normal AI, and then it would just have the same logic, like you can use mass AI for real-time combat. How do you give it all that same logic? Like, what's the difference at that point with the mass AI compared to just a regular AI? Wouldn't that just be spawning all regular AIs? I need to figure this out. He can if you wanted to. It's C++ only for mass. Of course it is. Data packing thing that makes it fast. I see. While ads are going, I'll be right back. I'm back. Back the data really close together. They get really small. You could load more data into the CPU caches at once that allow you to iterate over and modify data more efficiently. You don't work with a mesh or any of the stuff in mass. It's just raw data modifications. So theoretically, I couldn't... Oh, this one is only 5.75 gigs in editor. Yeah, this one's great. This whole thing's 5.75 gigs. That's pretty good. Huh? Did I do it? Ah, see that view, those views. I want those. I wanted those so bad. So we'll go to probably around 6 gigs. So that's good. You can fully access a character actor for moderations and mouse. Yeah, we got 6 gigs. Even the shadow areas look nice. I'm starting to think I need to reduce the opacity to like 0.4. Yeah. 6 gigabytes. Girlfriend is home. Run, hide. Hide. Quick. If you need help, just blink twice. We'll send help. Considering this is an editor, yeah, so we're probably fine on the memory front. Okay. Okay. So for the time being, we'll turn off level streaming then. Is there a way to see what the how the actual memory is being used? Because stack memory, right? Texture memory. This doesn't add up to 5 gigs, right? Uh, 1039.88 plus 153, 338, 71, 17. Yeah, that is very far from 5.79. So how do I see how all the memory is used? Client reports 5.5 gigabytes in stat unit, but stat memory only shows about 1.5 gigabytes. That's good information. That's good information. We're getting educated. I like being educated. Set memory reports a high-level subset of engine-specific allocations. Either is wrong, yeah. But that would be me. You're becoming a nerd. What the hell is that kappa? Wait. What the hell is that? Why is Kappa looking? Hold on. Hold. Just want to see. No. You could see it down there. Well, I don't know if it's just what you're saying, but why is yeah, so I'm looking at So yeah, this is Twitch's. This is the BTTV one. BTTV Global. Right, here's all the different kappa that I have. But yeah, what is this? Why is Twitch's Twitch changes kappa? Oh, yeah. Base kappa emote removed in the last few hours. The OG kappa is no longer. There are no words from Twitch. It's part of a marketing campaign for Call of Duty. Okay. Now we know. Back to this though. Run the console combined stat LLM full. Detail engine allocations via low level memory. Working set size, physical RAM. Okay, let's try this. I've not seen this one before. Okay, so we have 0. Good. Okay, that's not helpful. Okay, that's not. Yeah, that was not working. Set archai. Yeah, it's not gonna help me. This doesn't do anything. Oh, it saves it in a location. I don't like that. Why can't it show me? I mean, either way, we're fine, right? It seems. Use stats.max per group CVAR to increase the limit. Well. Okay. I'll actually start to archery does have memory stuff. UAV texture memory. What is UAV? Unidentified aerial vehicle? Texture memory? I don't have any UAVs in my game. Render target 2D memory. Render target. I wonder if that is the mini-map that is currently hidden. Hold on a second. If we did a standalone. Give it a moment to load. Set RHI. What I wanted to see is render 2D memory 525. Oh, minimap is on. But I don't. Did this break? That hasn't changed. I wonder if that. I wonder if that's where the render target 2D is happening. So if I got rid of the minimap, it would help, to be fair. That is something that I do want to look into. But also, is my minimap not working? I didn't realize it was enabled, but I'm just not seeing it. Yep. Minimap doesn't work. What happened? God damn it. How did we break the minimap? What do we do to break the minimap? Ba, 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 ba. Oh, the heck? It's not even here. Not even printing. Guys, I broke something. Guys, I broke things. Why did I break things? Why am I like this? Hey, where's the minimap? Oh no, the minimap is added not from here. Minimap is separate. I remember. Reference viewer. This one. Do I ever burn out on Unreal? No. Welcome in, No Name. I do not. I actually have a video on that. If you want to know why and how I don't get burnt out. Load minimap widget. I assume this is not firing. You cured your burnout, by the way? I didn't know you were having burnout. I don't think that's burnout. I think you just lose interest. It's slightly different. But congratulations. You have been on this project for the longest time so far. So congratulations. I feel like it's not burnout for you, it was more boredom. Okay, so this is not printing. That's not printing. What's going on? Oh. I see. For some reason, am I not giving myself the tag possessed anymore? Add tags after initialization. Possessed. Character player possessed. But I guess it's always failing. For some reason. Oh, it's not even firing. What? Why is it like it's firing once? It fired. Okay, so it did fire here. So it went through here, found that I have been possessed. Everything's fine. And then I'm checking if the local player controller and the current digital is lowered at 0. And not in the bus room. So this should work, assuming I am. Here, if we don't do this check, it should then load it in here. But it doesn't. Oh, no, it does print. It doesn't print here. If gas didn't work and you had to go back to the blueprint gas system, or you hit an immovable object, you probably would have been stuck for a long time. I believe it. You could figure it out at some point. Just a matter of would you want to kind of thing. It does find it. Okay, so something's going on with this. I create it, I pass it through to the hub, but somehow it fails. We'll need to investigate this. That doesn't fail. But it also doesn't succeed. Oh, wait a second. No, load minimap widget. That is, I'm looking at load minimap. Where's load minimap widget? Well, there's the problem. How many times do I create things and not plug them in, guys? And I can tell you, the number is way too high. Way too high. Hey, look, there's the minimap. God damn it. Why am I so stupid? But we got it fixed, so yay. I'm dumb. How are you guys? At least it was only that. It's always something small and stupid. With me, a lot of times it's just I forget to plug something in. That is a very common thing for me. The amount of times I create a function and then go to test it and I realize I didn't actually plug in said function, very high. Very, very high. Memory of a goldfish. I think that's insulting to goldfish, but best example I got. Anyways, 5.7 video coming Sunday. First one. I'm gonna go over the new PCG mode in the selection mode. Go over some of my findings on that. I'm not gonna go in depth on any one mode and the usages of it, but I did find some nice stuff that I think I'm gonna maybe put individual videos on each section, like on the spline ones, the drawing ones, and stuff like that, that I think could be quite nice. But this Sunday is going to be just the overall, because there's, I think, enough to go through. Just for that, just to get people started with it, because it's pretty awesome. But with that, thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you all have a lovely weekend, and I will see you all on Monday, where I will proceed to break more things and maybe learn something again. Have a good night, guys. Take care.